3 steps to going in the direction you want to go in your life. And this comes from the podcast by David Bayer called The Changed Mind, episode 125. He gives you 3 simple steps. Step number 1, determine what state you are in the moment and be aware. So are you in what we call a primal state or a power state? And you know those states very easily. I know right now I can see where I am. Am I feeling good? Am I feeling scared? Am I having anxiety? Am I jealous? Am I mad? Am I upset? Primal state. Am I having joy? Am I having gratitude? Is there some oxytocin flowing through my body? Power state. Here's what I'll tell you. You cannot create and solve problems in a primal state. You have to shift to a power state. So how do you do that? Well, folks, situations in your life do not cause you to feel a certain way. It's the meaning you give to them. And when you're in a primal state, the meaning you're going to give to everything is going to be of lack, of not enough. When you're in a power state, the meaning you give to everything is solution-based, gratitude-based, I'll figure it out based. So at any given time when something happens to you, you have to be aware of the meaning you're giving it, right? So for example, if you said, I lost my job, and you give it a meaning of despair and nothing's ever going to happen and it's going to be horrible, well, that's going to be a primal state. Versus if you say, hey, this is a thing that makes me kind of awake a little bit and maybe there's something better for me, that's a power state. And then what you need to do is in the moment, you need to think about the thought you're having and you need to think the opposite. Because when you're in a primal state, most of the thoughts we have, and I know this can be hard to maybe take in a little bit here and understand completely, but most of the things when we're in a primal state are not true, right? They're not true. And what's happening is our brain is kind of catastrophizing. How many of you have worried about something that never happened, right? So for example, maybe you're worrying of, am I going to have enough money? And then you go into that primal state of, well, I'm not going to have enough. Is that true? No, if I think back, I always seem to figure it out. I always seem to make it work. So that's not true. So why am I thinking that way? So what would be the opposite thought of that? The opposite thought of that is I live in abundance and there is enough and there always will be enough. And I will always figure out a way to find out what I need and how I need it and help myself to move forward in life. But if you will apply this, and this isn't something that just happens overnight, you get good at it, but check yourself on a daily basis and ask yourself this: primal state, power state. Meaning I'm giving to the situation right now. Is it benefiting me, right? Or is it untrue? And it's putting me into that catastrophic spiral. What's the opposite thought that I'm going to have there that will then give me the opposite meaning that'll allow me to be solution-based and move forward? And when I do that, here's what I find. When I do that to myself, all of a sudden my perspective opens up and I see opportunity. I see situations that are going to help me enhance my world. But this is muscle memory, folks. You've got to practice this. Also, listen to the podcast, David Bayer, episode 125, A Changed Mind. I'll put a link to it in this warm-up. All right, everybody, hey. Be awesome, help somebody, make it a great day. Oh, and if you know somebody needs to hear this, share it with them. If you like what I do, follow me. Talk to you later.